first. Start with Andy Dasher and Lance Hurley.
Hey, Coach, both PJ and Ty both spoke about the fact the guys were missing a lot of, open shots, easy shots to start the game, kind of let it affect the energy level there right away. I mean, kind of what did you see from that standpoint?
Oh, I think definitely. As I told the team after the game, we played like we were on the road. We really did. We did not. We were quiet. And again, it's you've got to have real strong courage and confidence to keep going when you're not making shots. Our 3 leading scorers in the first half were 1 of 20. Right. And the second and for the game we're 8 of 31. And so to me, you can't be quiet because you're the leading scorer. Well, you're also playing a lot of minutes, and you've got to be really good on the defensive end. You got to be really active. We were extremely too quiet. We've had some moments like this in games. We've been able to overcome them, but you can't beat good teams. You can't beat teams in this league if you're not more active defensively. And we were in position, but we were not as active. And I think a lot of that is because we let our offense, or lack thereof, especially the first half, control our defensive effort. And our defensive, it's not as much the effort as the activity and the talk. The deflections were pathetically low. We had 12 in the first half, 14 in the second half. It's the lowest we've been in forever. And a lot of that, I know we're in zone, but you still play with your hands up. You still talk. You still move your feet. You're still engaged. And we didn't do that. We played with some immaturity tonight.
Coach, you guys, when you guys were having conference play, you were playing, 2-3 games a week, and then you play Northeastern on the 22nd, have an 8-game layoff or 8-day layoff just because of the holiday, and then you go to LSU next week, and that's a 7-day layoff. Do you think that this long wait in between games is affecting the team?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Nothing should affect our talk, right? And you've got to be able to go through it. We missed shots, but we settled. We cut much better in the second half. The things, we've had some games where we've really brought our practice level to the game. And now we've had some games where our practice level stayed the same. It was really good, but we didn't bring it to the game. And we had a few issues this week. We had some contact tracing issues and things like that, but we got through it. But we just weren't active enough. So would I like to be playing on Saturday? Absolutely. But they gave us a bye right off the bat. So we go on the road for 2 next week, and trust me, we can use the practice time.
All right, up next, let's have Andy Walsh and then Ryan Curley.
Coach, Iverson Molinar and DJ Stewart, they combined for, 42 points, I think. Ty Fagan talked about, they got some great screens tonight. They were able to work off that really well. Where do you think you all went wrong with the defensive just, I guess, game plan with them? And then, obviously you're going to face some more good guards across the league. So how do you improve?
We were not as good in our game plan with some things that they run. And the scariest thing all night was going to be the rebounding, right? And we were leading the rebounding by 3. We ended up losing it by 1. Earlier, our 3 leading scorers went 8 of 31, and they had 6 free throws between the 3 of them. You still got to make something happen defensively. And we were not doing a good job of guarding the ball. We were not doing a good job of helping on the screens. And we weren't as engaged. And when that happens, good teams make shots. Good teams make shots. I think their length bothered us, but it bothered us because we settled rather than being on the attack. And when we're attacking, cutting, moving without the ball, good things happen. That's what happened in the second half. But it's a 40-minute game, and we practice, no matter what level we're at in practice with the timing of it, we're practicing the same way. And we've just got to understand that that's how we have to play. And so they did a good job of staying in the flow of their offense, but frankly, they got a lot of open looks because we weren't as aggressive as we needed to be.
Hey, Coach, obviously you guys won the first 7 games. I was wondering if you told your guys anything different after a loss, other than obviously the statistics.
Yeah, I told them some different things. I just said everybody needs to be ready, 100% ready to go for practice when we go tomorrow, because we've got to get better. We've got to utilize this time. And we practice well. We practice hard. We've had very few practices that I'd like to have back. But at the end of the day, we got to bring that to the game. And so obviously our habits are not formed to where they have to be. And again, in a given year, you'd have played 12, 13 non-conference games before you get into league play. We've only played 7. You know, if it was regular season, we'd be in the first week of December right now, you know, with 7 games. But it is what it is. So there's no excuse for us not to be better at what we do, which is cut, move without the ball, deliver the ball. And we've got to get used to seeing big athletic teams that want to impose their will around that lane and continue to figure out how we're going to move them. When we did, PJ Horn made threes. When we did, Tumani got cuts. When we did, we got some post-ups. When we did, we got some layups. And again, we make our layups in the first half, it's a tie game, right? We make our layups and our free throws, we're probably up. But we let those things affect us. And we were never as aggressive defensively as we needed to be. So that's what we have to work on every day to get better for the next one.
All right, up next, let's have Mike Griffith, and then Tori Heck.
Coach, I know you don't ever put it on just one guy, but Severe Wheeler just seems like he just is such an important barometer. It just seems like he just sets an important pace. It seems like it's going to be hard to win any games if the shooting doesn't get better. What can Severe do, and where do you think he's at with it?
Well, Justin and Severe were way off balance on their shots in the first half. And we don't take off balance jumpers. We don't take off balance pull-up jumpers. We don't work on that. We've got to shoot the ball better. I think we will shoot the ball better, but it comes in, and we shot it better in the second half tonight. But it becomes because we're cutting, 5 guys are moving, and we're getting through the paint. We're getting inside out threes. We're getting inside out cuts. It's being reversed 2 or 3 times. And it's not about where we struggled tonight. We had too many guys looking for their offense rather than playing offense for 40 minutes and making the game. I use this as an example. All right. In fact, I was yelling it out during the night. We do a lot of 4-on-0 in our practices every day to get the ball movement, to get the cutting going. They're never thinking about scoring. They're thinking about cutting, passing, getting layups, all right, getting the ball reversed. They're thinking about making their teammates better. Right. And then hence we shoot the ball very well in practice. But then we get into a game, okay, and we decide we're gonna over dribble, or we're not going to cut. Then it's forcing me to have to call actions and call sets. We're way behind offensively. Tonight we were behind defensively because we weren't active. You know, we've had numerous games with 60 deflections. Tonight we get 26. Zone is not an excuse for the lack of activity. We didn't make them feel us, and that's where we got to get better. But the shooting will come. I'm not. I don't want to say I'm not worried about that, because that would be a misrepresentation, but I'm confident that it's going to get better, right? But it's not going to get better by just standing there shooting challenge jump shots. It's going to get better because the driving kick game is there. We're creating help situations, and we're delivering the ball from underneath the corner and wing areas up into those slot and top of the key areas. All right, and the ball's coming up to us, all right, rather than late, right? And then when you can get your rhythm, step in, knock it down, we're good. And but we're gonna have to get really good at that. And I can live with missed threes. I can't live with over dribbling and off balance jump shots. Can't live with that. Not gonna live with that.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the energy earlier. How do you go about practicing that and getting it to the place where it needs to be to stay there consistently and not kind of waver?
It's a player-driven thing. I mean, because we have excellent practices. I mean, we're 7-0. We've had some really good games, right? But we've also had some games, the Northeastern first half, coming out of the gate in the Cincinnati second half, all right, Sanford at the beginning of the game, where we've let our offense, all right, lack thereof, affect our game. And it's universal in the NBA. It's universal in college. It takes a strong-minded person, all right, with courage, confidence, and leadership abilities to keep setting the tone for their teammates and keep setting the tone defensively when it's not going well for them. And everybody deals with it. All right. We saw it tonight. We've seen it a couple other times. We've got to continue to grow through it. But it's not about taking their confidence from shooting the ball or any of those type of things. We want to shoot the ball. We want to get a lot of possessions, but we can't come down and let our lack of offense affect our defense. And I think that had as much to do with that. That's where our lack of energy came. And we got some guys that have got to grow up and understand that everybody's dealing with it. How quick you overcome it makes you that much better of a player, makes us that much better of a team.
All right, and last question, let's have Jed May.
Hey, Coach. I guess just to ask you about this energy one more time on a team with where you brought in, you know, the graduate transfers, the junior college guys, you know, Severe and Tumani are in their second year. Are you surprised that there still is, I guess, this much of the offensive struggles affecting energy, affecting the defensive end? Has
No,
that?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And we got to root it out. We got to keep giving them confidence, but they've got to have confidence in how we play, right? And how we practice has got to be how we play. All right. And at times through this early season, it's certainly been that way. But then there's moments, and then tonight inside of the game, especially the first half, the second half was much better, right? We scored 46 points in the second half. I mean, we were much better in it. All right. But this is not the energy. We're in good shape. Our conditioning is good. We haven't over practiced. It's not about those types of things. It's more about how do you stay strong mentally, aggressive, and verbally, all right, when it's not going well for you offensively. And I think everybody in the country is dealing with everybody that I talk to, the games that I watch, you can see it, it's universal, but it's the ones that get over it the best. And as a coach, you just keep trying to give them confidence, but you also tell them the truth, right? And that defensive effort with lack of activity, it will hurt us, and we can't have that. So we've got to be. We never really created things off of our defense tonight, and we've got to be able to do that.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys. See you.
Thank you so much.